Greetings. K Mega 45 coming to you live. Hold on. Let me turn that down. Coming to you live from the 405. Well, I'm just your regular gamer talking to the intelligent gamers out there. Man, this has been an incredibly insane weekend of just news all over the place. But gaming news especially. Stuff about Halo, which I'm excited about. Very interested in finding out what they're going to do when they do a deep dive. Most likely it's probably going to relate to the Halo remaster of some sort, I'm sure, and maybe something afterwards. Maybe they might talk about a continuation to Halo Infinite. I don't know, but I'm excited about it. I can't wait to find out more about what's going on that end. Also, EA, that's crazy. Got some more news about what was going on with Avalanche Studios, and they're closing down. The gaming industry is in a whole different tailspin, and it's something I've been saying. I'm like, you're either going to ride on this train or get ran over, because nothing is the same. It changed. The game changed probably at the beginning of this generation, and it's not slowing down, and it's pretty crazy. So anyway, I guess I'm just going to just start off and talk about the Halo thing, because that is kind of where we at right now with trying to figure out. Let me move this over here. Hold the line. Right, he says, hold the line. I know you look at the title, maybe that might be a little clickbaitish. I will definitely talk about that if it's Xbox's last stand and all that. But I mean, I'm just going by what Mike Ybarra said and how that was a tailspin. Like I said, there was just a whole bunch of just gaming news is just kind of laid in the lap. I almost wanted to make a stream Sunday when I seen that, but it was Saturday or Sunday when it happened. It was this weekend, but I was like, no, I'm doing fight night, and then I'm not even going to discuss that stuff. Oh no! It was Monday. I can't remember actually. It was this past weekend on Monday, whatever the case may be. But I did fight night. Second row came in there being disrespectful. Had a good banter at the end of fight night. It was fun playing Soul Calibur. It was real fun playing Soul Calibur. But anyway, let's get to it. Because I am pressed for time. I got to go to physical therapy here in about a couple of hours. So I want to try to be as quick as possible on this stream. So anyway. The Halo situation, I'm excited to find out what's going to happen. I mean, anything that has to relate to Halo, even though I haven't played Halo Infinite in a minute. I still love Halo. Halo is one of my favorite franchises. So Fahim, okay, I guess my title is over here making people feel a certain kind of way. I'll talk about the Xbox thing here pretty soon, and give my explanation of what it's at. People. Question mark. There's a question mark at the end of the header. It's a question mark. Xbox last stand. Question mark. That it wasn't an explanation mark. It was a question mark. Okay. Anyway. So no, like I said, I'll get to that. But the Halo situation, like I said, I can't wait to find out what it is. It's most likely rumored for that remaster. I don't know where it's going to go. I have no clue. No clue. I don't know. So we'll see and find out. I mean, it's pretty interesting. We'll find out on the 24th. And like I said, we'll see if they're going to talk about anything other than just this remake, or when they talk about future plans. Like I said, about if there's a continuation to Infinite. I don't know. We'll see. Halo Wars. Can we get another Halo Wars? I'm excited to know. So that's all I got on that. But let me talk about Avalanche Studios closing down, man. This industry is man. I can't say it's cooked because everybody's making big time money. But these smaller studios, They are fighting for their lives. And if they're not acquired by somebody, they are in trouble. Like, I mean, it's insane. Um, I mean, you can't just keep making the same type of games over and over and over again, right? Because that's not what gamers said that they wanted. I know that gamers are out here and they're, they say that, but their actions speak so much differently. Like, I mean, should Avalanche Studios work on another Just Cause instead of Contraband? Because Contraband got shut down, so we never even got to see what Contraband gameplay even looked like. And so, man, and Liverpool Studios is reducing its workforce, and that's a big theme. I mean, when I talk about the EA thing, probably I'll talk about EA here next, but here goes another one. And now, will someone come up and swoop up Avalanche Studios? I mean, they have quality games. I mean, Just Cause is a really fun, and really fun game. So I don't know, man. And it's like studios are being punished trying to make something new. That's how I'm looking at it. Like, if they're trying to make a chance on making something new, then if it doesn't hit, it's so ridiculous now on that level. Because if you make something new and then if it doesn't get enough traction, or if you can't, or it's costing way too much money, these companies are not dealing with it. They're like, nah, bro, nope, budget, too much, shut it down. So again, when I talked about it a few weeks ago, when we were talking about Contraband and this other couple of games that got shut down for that was coming to Xbox, it was like, I mean, you can't trip out about it because we ain't even seen what the gameplay was. It's not like they did with Scalebound. That's why Scalebound was what it made me emotional on that situation. I wasn't crying or nothing, but I'm just saying the sadness about that, because I seen the potential in that game. And then it didn't come. It just that was wild. And so, like, just like what PlayStation fans felt about the continuations of the Last of Us multiplayer, and that didn't see the light of day. So, or the MMO version of the Spider-Man game, like, but that we didn't see anything of that. We only seen like a ad or something like that was leaked out, but we did get to see gameplay from the Last of Us multiplayer game. So I don't know. It's pretty crazy. Saudis should get Xbox. Stop it. Stop it. Okay, EA makings that Arab money. Yeah. Yeah, that's well, let's just get into it. Let's talk about it. What can you say, man? Okay, so there are so many tie-ins to this, and so again, like I told my boy Tashawn, I'm not gonna get over political on all this stuff, but the tie-ins with Kushner, who owns who is part of the buyers with this company that's working with the Saudis and all that, got the $2 billion from a deal that they made when during the first Trump term. All that, look that up. Look that stuff up. All I know is this: EA, as we know it, is over. Is over. I mean, so I do want to see from the gaming media though, because this is exactly what's going to happen with EA, with the employees at EA. They're cooked. A lot of them are cooked, and they know it. BioWare could be absolutely cooked. This so much is on the line with Mass Effect 3. If BioWare does not over deliver, I don't even care about delivery. Like, people, we can love the story, we can love, if it ain't going to make that money, if it ain't going to make the money, BioWare is cooked. Yes, we do know why Lena Khan got fired. Like, all these mergers are insane. Bigger corporation by, or I should say, mega corporation buying big corporations. Just no different than like, I mean, so when we look at it from the standpoint of what, and I wasn't mad at Lena Khan for going after to investigate this. I was kind of like, what I got mad at Lena Khan for, because that's what you want your the person that's in charge of the FTC is to regulate and to look at these things, right? You know, all these, see, again, when we look at all these mergers, in some cases it can benefit, but in a lot of cases it don't. Because if you want little entities and all this other stuff, it's like no different than what the whole Jimmy Kimmel thing, like all these companies trying to buy all these other companies, if they were all separate, then there couldn't be anybody just going to one person and saying, shut this down, or you do this, or you do that. And that, like, if you have different entities, that's like, no, I'm not doing that. Y'all can do that, but I'm not going to do that. That's what kind of makes this whole merger thing kind of crazy. So if people don't want to go on a straight arrow, if these companies don't want to go on a straight arrow and have all these mergers, it just only just one person that's in charge, or that group of people that are in charge. There's one person that makes the ultimate decision, and then there's other people that gives their decisions on things. But there's only one person that's going to make the ultimate decision, and then there you go. And then everybody's got to deal with the consequences if you like it or not. So that's why, like I said, I understand what Lena Khan was trying to do. I just didn't like her method on, like, okay, you're going completely after Microsoft, but you're staying away from Sony. You're staying away from, well, Nintendo don't really do really big mergers or anything of that nature. What's the deal? Like, I mean, this Activision deal is huge, yes. And maybe this Activision deal kind of sparked what's going on with EA. It could have. I have no clue. There's a lot of unknowns in this new gaming realm. I got speculations, but that's all I got. All I got now. I mean, I could just go. I mean, I do a lot of speculating on a lot of things too, but I don't know where this is headed. The one things I do know that where we're headed to is where EA, unfortunately, Madden, the monetization in college football, the monetizations are going to be absolutely insane. Because EA gonna want that money back. They're gonna want that money back. The Sims team, I don't know how. I know Sims is real popular. I don't know if that's, well, hold up. You're right. Like, there's another factor to this with the EA thing, where people aren't putting into equation. See, like, again, jump on Microsoft's ass for the whole situation of letting all those people go. But I want to see that same energy what happens, because you know what EA is going to do with a lot of those employees. It's going to be $20 billion in debt. Not 20 million, not 20,000, not 200,000, not $20. $20 billion in debt to the Saudis, who gave them $55 billion in cash. They said, if you read it, the Saudis gave EA $55 billion in cold hard cash, son. That came in there with cash. Read it yourself. I saw that. I said, when I read that like 5 times, like, cash, bro, are you serious? Cash? There's levels to this I will never ever understand for the rest of as long as I live on this planet. Rolling up on somebody saying, "Hey man, we'll take care of you." You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, going to Kushner saying, "Kushner, well, I want to buy EA or whatever," and you know, I'm good friends with the Saudis, and the Saudis is like, "Yeah, man, what you need? How much y'all ask for? Oh, okay, work out the deal. All right, roll the truck up." What? Cash? Bro, levels to it. It's levels. That's insane. That's some insane shit right there. Okay, regardless, the one thing that I do know, and this is what makes this whole EA thing so interesting, complicated, could be dangerous in a lot of ways, because of how these games could be messaged, done. There's going to be a lot of jobs lost, because their EA is going to make sure that they're going to make sure they're going to come up with that $20 billion as soon as and quickly as possible. It's no different than what Xbox is doing with what they have to, with Amy Hood and them is like, look, we need this Activision money back. So get to doing what you got to do. So here we go. the new era of Xbox where everything's an Xbox. What was it? What was it? Project Latitude. in effect in effect, they got to get that money. They got to get that money, right? So same thing with EA. So the monetization, all this other stuff, get ready for, I wouldn't be surprised if they try to do, I mean, we know Madden, FIFA, or I should say FC, Madden, FC, college football, they're going to make that money. I could see EA trying to do a baseball game again. There's going to be games like that where they can come out and do this stuff yearly. And like I said, the monetization is going to be nuts. Battlefield 6 looks very intriguing. It's going to be good. What is it going to become going forward? Like, see, they were talking all good and cute about the skins on Call of Duty, and people are all like, look at this. Wait till to see what the skins that you're going to have to get that they're going to be bringing in. They're going to work deals. It ain't going to be the first year. But that second year, that might be all out the window, Jack. You might get some cartoon characters up in that piece. They're gonna get that money. They're gonna get that money. So let's not get crazy about that. But the saddest thing about this situation is that there's going to be people that's going to lose their jobs because they're going to do all this stuff with AI. It is just what the industry is doing because they got to cut costs and cut corners. Is it the right thing from a business standpoint? Yeah, anytime you cutting costs, is it the right thing for human beings to lose their job? Absolutely not. But we're in uncharted territory with all this stuff, especially with this AI stuff. And I know a lot of people don't like it. I like it to a degree. I don't like when people lose their jobs over this, but who's going to stop it? Who's going to stop it? The corporations are the ones that are in charge. Now, again, we can speak with our wallets, but how many people are going to speak with their wallets when their favorite game comes out? You know what I mean? So, I mean, if people want to stand on business, then they got to stand on business to make these companies change. But when it comes to they'll do that for a game that they don't like. Oh no, I'm never going to buy Madden. Okay, I'm never going to buy college football or FC, but you'll buy Mass Effect. And if that meant that Mass Effect got the people from BioWare, they got cut out for AI bots to write the story. And to write the story, how many people are going to be upset and not buy Mass Effect? This is where we're at, and I would not be surprised if we don't start seeing games jump up and get higher for some. Unfortunately, EA is going to want that $20 billion back. It's a different situation for Microsoft in the sense, I mean, not different in the sense that they need to get money, but they've made their changes by doing the whole Project Latitude thing. And they also tried to come and raise the prices on some games. They're going to try it again. Don't get it twisted. Once everybody else start doing it, then Microsoft's going to say, okay, we're fine to do it. It's going to happen. So we just going to have to brace ourselves for this because this is where we're at. This is where we're at. Rachel says, get ready. The Saudi prince are about to finance the Need for Speed Underground 3. Again, it doesn't matter. Like I said, I'm seeing people saying that they're upset because of this whole thing. What I guess the Saudis are trying to do. Saudi Arabia is trying to lighten their image. Because of the atrocities of what they do with free speech and how they treat human rights violations and all this stuff. So they're trying to make people see them from a different perspective, different light. I'm not saying that all people from Saudi Arabia is bad people. I've never been there. It looks beautiful in certain places. You know what I'm saying? So they got beautiful women. But anyway, but I know about what the stuff that they do out there and freedom of speech out there. Nah, they don't play that. So and so they're doing all these different things like the live with the golf situation out there. They got the live that battles against the PGA. There's all these comedians finna come over there, like Dave Chappelle and all these others. It started controversy with a lot of people in the political space, and also comedians themselves, because they're like, look, y'all selling y'all soul, like, for all these comedians that are going over there to Saudi Arabia. I mean, I remember Beyonce went out there. There's been some entertainers and they got criticized. So they're trying to paint an image, and now they're investing in the gaming. I mean, remember the whole situation with Embers Group? Like, they were going to buy, Embracer. I said Embers, Embracer, the Embracer Group, and then that folded. So, which is unfortunate. And then now that whole studio company is gone. So, it's crazy. So again, like, when Need for Speed Underground 3 drops, how many people going to sit here and look and think about human right violations or freedom of speech, or people getting fired because of AI? This is where we are now. Are we going? If you want to stand up on business on things, you got to stand up on business on it. But if you don't, then there's going to be eventually. What we're going to find out is a lot of people ain't going to care. They're going to talk this shit. They're going to make videos and say this, but a lot of people just really probably don't care. And that's the saddest thing about this situation. They're not going. They'll make videos and bitch about Microsoft firing people, which that's fine. But they're not going to do the same when it comes to EA, because you know what? They're still going to buy EA games. And there you go. What will happen is people saying, well, that's not my issue. Like I said, it's very complicated. It's very, very, very complicated. Very complicated. I don't wish for these people to lose their jobs. I know that there's a lot of stuff that I've seen on Twitter X where where a lot of employees are nervous, and rightfully so. That's a lot of money. I mean, I've seen that Jason Schreier posted about like their plans, and he's a strong advocate against all that stuff. Like he went crazy on Xbox or I should say Microsoft, for what they did. And like I said, that's fine. But I want to see the gaming media have the same type of energy for EA, because it's coming. It's coming, and I mean it's already coming right here. I mean, Avalanche Studios closing down. I haven't seen a lot of media people get all up in arms. They're talking about, thoughts and prayers. Don't know, man. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty wild. Let's see. Man, EA stuff is crazy. There was something that just popped up in my feed. So we give a shout out to Dark Paddling. You know what I'm saying? He posted about what Sarah Bond posted. I just seen it. Where'd it go? Oh, I guess he posted me. Oh, no. I messed out. I've got it. Okay. And this came from VGT Gaming News. Okay. Sarah Bond, president of Xbox, reports that sales of Xbox Game Pass for the previous fiscal year reached a record high of $5 billion. This indicates that the business is generating profit. We tried to tell you, and people don't want to listen. People rather go on these tangents and listen to these yahoos out here that keep constantly talking about value for gamers is bad. We keep hearing these people keep telling people that value for gamers is bad. And that is what I've said, is that people are going to look and say, check their wallet and say, damn, I want these 4 games, but I can only get 1 because I got bills to pay. Or I might just want to save some money. And then you look and you see Game Pass has 2 of them. You know what? For $20 a month, I got these 2 games, plus I can go ahead and I can get this other game. Oh, what? These games are on sale if I'm subscribed to Xbox to Game Pass? Oh, so I get 10% off. Oh man, plus I get Xbox rewards. So man, I got about $5-6 of Xbox rewards on top of the 10% off. And I got this game on Game Pass. Oh, so if I want to, come on, man. How is this bad for gaming? How can anybody keep saying that nonsense? It is Crazy. But as I will say, I don't ever really mention too much about next gen, but there's one thing that he said that I will say this: men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. That is absolute the truth. So that is absolutely the truth right there. So generate for profit. Congratulations to Game Pass. That means more value, more games, especially in the climate that we're in, where people over here trying to, got to, pinch it for pennies. Come on now. This is good. This is good. That's a good sign. I like it. All right. What else? What else is happening right here? Before I get to it and get on the main topic. Hold on. Yeah, I had my little notes ready, but I have oh yeah. Yeah, let me talk about the Wolverine thing. Okay, so let's see, Rain. What up, Rain? He said, factions. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, I was trying to remember the name of that of it. Yeah, factions. I would have definitely bought factions. I would have. I liked the multiplayer from The Last of Us. I thought it was dope. So just weird decisions from Sony. I understand the money aspect of it, but that would have generated plenty of money. Like I don't know who these. I really don't. I don't know who these people talk to. Because I mean, everybody that I seen that were PlayStation fans on social media was so hyped for factions, so hyped. Even the people that did got exposed that they didn't even play factions, right? But who knows, right? Like it just didn't play the first multiplayer. I don't know. I have no idea. You said you mean the new Mass Effect, not 3. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Did I say Mass Effect 3? Yeah, my bad. Yeah, the new Mass Effect. It'll just be called, it won't be called Mass Effect 4. It'll be just, I guess, the new Mass Effect. But that's right. Bills exist before video games. Absolutely. Absolutely. Righteous says, imagine when AI starts strong. AI starts strong with optimization. Human made games will be called unoptimized slop. I don't know, man. Like I said, we are approaching some crazy times of gaming. The old guard of how we used to. That's why I was trying to tell people beforehand. The old way of how we looked at gaming is changed. The landscape has changed. It is going to continue to change. The people that still think that PlayStation is going to not follow what Xbox is doing is really delusional. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. That's it. PlayStation likes to let their people down slow. Xbox just doesn't. So everybody's going to feel some kind of pain if they like the old way of gaming. This situation with EA, look, man, that's one of the god tier companies. You got Namco. You got Namco Bandai now. Well, because that's when they merged. It was just Namco. And then you got Capcom, EA, Activision. And Sunsoft, which is Square Enix. Look at that. Look, only ones left is Capcom. As where they are as independent is Capcom, and then you had Ubisoft as well. You had Capcom, Namco Bandai, and yeah, because Ubisoft is owned partially by Tencent. So like, it's there's only a few of them left. I mean, Sega. Then you got Sega. It's just not the same, man. When you got companies like Activision and EA getting bought out, that's telling you, man, the industry is in a whole nother place, man. Well, we know that. You said, listen, okay, so Fahim, this is another, okay, so Rain says Sony always copies Xbox, which they do. And then Fahim says, well, basically, if he's saying that PlayStation will not follow suit of what, or putting games elsewhere, if the games are selling well. They're already putting games on PC. All of their games are going on PC. Okay, that was supposed to never happen, right? And they're getting there faster and faster. You get more and more games being dropping day and day. Then that's another thing. Like I seen that they were reporting that, oh, this is the best seller, the best PlayStation 5 has made more money than it's ever had. Well, this is the most expensive PlayStations that we've ever seen in the history of PlayStation. These consoles are on the same level. Well, these consoles are on the prices, same level prices what the PlayStation 3 was back in what 2006. So, and people didn't buy it because it was too goddamn expensive. PlayStation 5 is what, $550? The PlayStation Pro is $750, $800, something like that. Of course they're going to sit there and of course they're going to make more because these consoles are way more expensive. So that's one of those misleading things. I mean, good for them for making the money, but that's something that Xbox would post and people would call that out, just like I'm calling this out for the PlayStation thing. Like, of course you're making more money because everything costs more, games cost more, everything costs more. So yeah, that's not the case, because if you look at it, what the game sales for damn near every title for PlayStation has been down. There's only been what, 2 or 3 games that has been has sold more. God of War Ragnarok, Spider-Man 2. Well, no, hold on. Yeah, well, Spider-Man 2. I don't know. Did Spider-Man 2 outsell? I don't think it did. I don't think it did. It had the first. It was first. It was like in the first 3 months or something like that. It broke a record, but overall, I don't think Spider-Man 2 is outsold 2018. I don't think so. Now, if it might have outsold Miles Morales, I have no idea. But I don't know about what you call it. But regardless, Spider-Man 2 sold really well. And Helldivers 2 was sold fantastic. But again, Helldivers 2 is on Xbox. It's on PC. So Fahim, brother, just succumb to the throat needle and realize, and like I said, the water's warm over here. Once you get over the shock of it, you're like, and then you turn on your PlayStation, and then you just don't worry about it no more. You know what I'm saying? Just like I turn on my Xbox, and I'm just like, oh, and I don't even think about like, oh my goodness, my Xbox games is on PlayStation. I don't even think about that when I'm playing on my Xbox. It's only when I'm online and I see people that's bitching about it. Like, I don't care. I did at the time. And now I'm like, okay, I'm over it. The water's warm. It's fine. It was a little chilly at first, but you'll be fine. Really said worst gen ever. Yet people give Sony more money. It is PlayStation's worst generation. This is a pitiful game generation for Sony. It's pitiful. Oof, the Xbox did this. This was basically kind of like PlayStation's Xbox One generation. It's been bad. It's not been bad. The start of Xbox One was fantastic. The end, still gave some good games, but not on the level of what PlayStation 4 did. I've said that before. So this general Xbox is smoking right now when it comes to games, and PlayStation is not when it comes to their games right now. So truth hurts. Okay, so the majority of gamers who buy PlayStation buy for most multi-class. They don't buy for issues. That's fact. Oh, okay. Exclusives. That's what I was like. Okay, yeah, exclusives. No, it's got to be certain exclusives. It has to be certain exclusives. That's it. That's why that's why they are going to follow the same path. Because listen, Xbox gamers will be intrigued by Soros or Returnal. by maybe not so much for Horizon Zero Dawn. I like Horizon Zero Dawn. If I never played Horizon Zero Dawn, it would be a game that I would pick up immediately, day one, if it dropped on Xbox. God of War, it'll cook. Spider-Man cook. Gran Turismo, it'll cook. It'll cook. It won't outdo Forza Horizon, but it will cook. Those games will do really well on Xbox. No question. Now you're looking at games like, let's say, Phantom Zero, stuff like that. I'm gonna be excited to get that game, but I don't know how that will do at the end. But I mean, overall on Xbox. But yeah, no, the mainstay, the Last of Us. I don't know. I don't know. Uncharted, it will cook. Uncharted will cook on Xbox. Last of Us, I don't know. I don't really know. Would it do really well? It will. People will buy it. I know for sure. But will it do? Will it do something? It'll be like Horizon or The Last of Us would be question marks on if they would sell really well. Everything else, other than that the mainstays for PlayStation that are their big hitters, yeah, no, they would cook. They would cook. Anyway, so your first adapters of the console is always the hardcore or adopters. That's it. The first adopters of the console is always the hardcore. Then after that, all other sales after that are casual gamers. Yeah, well, no, that is yeah. The hardcore are always going to be the first adopters of anything. And it's actually at this point, and even for casuals now, I would say this because we don't know how wild the markets is going to be going forward in the next few years. We all know that we're getting new consoles, so it would probably be smart for casuals if they want to get a new console is to get it now, even though it's going to be expensive, but get it now because you don't know if it's going to be higher later on. I mean, just look at what happened with this generation. We've never seen consoles that are pretty much depreciated go up in price. We've never seen it. As long as I've been a gamer, I've never seen consoles go up in price unless they were like mint condition classics that were that you can't buy anymore. You can't find that. Like let's say you want to find a NES. With somebody that has the original NES and it's still in a box. That's when you got crazy price for that. But just finding an NES, hell, you could probably go to a swap meet or a thrift store, or somebody's garage sale and find an old PlayStation. Or an old Nintendo NES. You know what I mean? Again, for $5. Never seen nothing like this. Never seen anything like this. So, like I said, it's a wild generation all the way around. But it would be probably smart for casuals to jump on board with early adopters because we don't know how much shit is going to be going forward. And it's like I was telling my homeboy, like, because he was like, man, there's another Xbox coming because he just got his Series X about a year and a half ago. He's one of those. He waits. And he was like, man, what? There's a new console. And I told him, I said, your ass better stop being cheap because it ain't going to be. I was like, the new console is not going to be cheap, but the new console is probably not going to drop in price either. So you better, when the day that I get mine, you better be with me. So because I don't see these prices going down for these new consoles going forward. I don't. So, and he was like, yeah, I think you're right. Because he was over there, because he looked and seen, he was like, man, I just seen it. The Xbox was, where was he at? Sam's or something like that. And he's like, man, I just seen it. The Xbox was like $700. I said, bro, it's nuts out here. It's nuts. And so that's when we got into that discussion. And he was just like, telling me, man, there's a new Xbox. I said, yeah, it's supposed to be coming out here in the next year or two for sure. So, better be right here with me. So, and getting it day one. But save your money now. I said, 'cause that shit ain't gonna be cheap. So he said, He said, "Stop buying gold, buy Xboxes, bro." It's almost like that. Man, these prices is nuts, bro. I'm just looking at this as like, man, you have you have PlayStation fans begging for Forza Horizon 6. Damn shame, brother. I know. That's what I'm saying. Like all this talk, like all this, nobody wouldn't play no Xbox games, Xbox trash, Game Pass fodder, all that, man. And then they're just bragging and braggadocious. Look at all that, man. And they mad because Xbox is over here saying, look, we know you want this game, but you're gonna have to wait. And so when Xbox gamers finally, from their perspective, that's been all an outrage, they're saying that they don't look, they're not treated first and all this and that. When Xbox does, hey, you're getting treated first. We're putting it out on Xbox and PC. That's it. When it first drops. Now it might drop in 6, 7 months, 8 months, or whatever. It's going to most likely drop in the same year, within a year. But you don't see the Xbox community that was doing all that complaining saying, you know what, thank you, Xbox. That's a good deal. You don't see it, you don't hear nothing. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's all this fake outrage that just makes no sense. I don't even pay attention to that shit no more. When I see fake outrage, I just keep it scrolling. I don't even care. It's not even real. The internet is so unserious. So unserious. Anyway. All right, I'm looking at my time. Okay. All right. So let me get to it. Talk about this Wolverine thing real quick. The grifters are going after Wolverine. I don't know, another developer. He posted something or said something or whatever, and now Wolverine is supposed to be too soft. And I've seen people talking about Mystique and they're hunting down people of color and Mystique had blackface because she was. I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What the hell is going on? These people are maniacs. I mean, Wolverine's woke. What the? You don't even know what that damn word means. You're morons. I'm like, man, when you wake up in the morning and you have this thought about what am I going to find that I can sit here and bitch about today and make other people angry because that's going to make me add revenue. I don't know, man. I don't know. I have no idea. Wolverine looked dope. The one thing about it with all the jumping and sliding and stuff like that will be weird. I'll get over it. The combat looks great. I'm sure the story is gonna be pretty damn good. There's gonna be extra characters that you're gonna be able to play with. I'm hearing the people that complain about this. Oh, you're gonna play as some woman. I think you're gonna be playing as Mystique on some cases, or maybe Jean Grey or something like that. That's gonna be fire. Play as Jean Grey doing okay. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I did see a clip of somebody try to explain that Wolverine is tamed and he's not a killer like that. I mean, he's looks soft, or he's not aggressive enough. I'm like, he put his claws through a person's head. That's Wolverine. What are you talking about? Like, do these people got these? I got the first Wolverine comic. The first Wolverine comic. Was it in the 80s when that came out? I can't remember. I never had the first. I had his like that thick like origin story book of Wolverine, and my mom took it when she owned a daycare, and she took my comic books, all my Inferno series, my Wolverine comics, all my X-Men all of my Avengers comics, and let the kids just ravage through them. I did not even know it. I kept stuff in my mom's house thinking it was going to be safe because I was like, I don't want them nothing damaged. And my mom took all my comics and took it to the daycare, and them kids tore my shit up. I lost my mind. Anyway, but the first comic from Wolverine, he's standing on the cover. He's standing on tons of bodies. He's a killer. He's a monster. And he goes and and the whole thing about him is that Professor X is trying to challenge him of not wanting to be that monster because sometimes he gives in to his rage. So if this is set like this isn't an origin story of Wolverine, this is Wolverine that's already been out, he's already been a part of the X-Men, and so of course he's not going to be as aggressive until until he goes berserk. And I don't know. I don't know, man. What's happening here, guys? What are people doing? I don't know. I don't know. But it looks good. Just like with Ghost of Yotai, I'm going to go ahead, or Yotai, however you want to say it. The Ghost game, like I said, I'll buy day one, deluxe edition on PC when it drops. Looking forward to that. Going to show utmost support for that game, and I'll do the same thing for Wolverine. This is bananas. Can we just get? I don't have a problem with people wanting to be objective to certain parts of the game, just like what people were saying about Mary Jane in Spider-Man 2018, and definitely in, I guess, in Spider-Man 2. I haven't got to that part yet, but that's fine. That's fine to sit there and to be objective about that. But to make all this crazy stuff and say that it's because it's women's fault or people that are from the LGBTQ community's fault for look, there's a person that has to sign on that signed on to that. The first person that is the lead developer signed off on that. He don't get any. It's the other. I don't know. I don't know. It's crazy. Anyway, I'm not going to keep going on and about that. That's dumb. All right, let's get to the situation with Xbox. Okay, so Mikey Barra came out and said there was an article for something. I think that's what it was about the PlayStation's generating more money than it ever generated when console sales ever or whatever. And then Mikey Barra comes out and says the Xbox is dead. Now listen, I like Mikey Barra. I've had some, few interactions with him, with games and stuff like that, and he's been on a podcast when I was on BGST and then on a couple of other podcasts that I was on back in the days. I like his fire spirit. I'm not going to talk bad about the man. I'm not. But I will say that was childish as hell. And so, like, somebody was like, Meg, are you really mad about it? I'm not mad about it. I'm disappointed. But, I mean, because this is my thing. You're a person that works in the industry, and you sound like a bitter ex, bro. Like, you've been in Microsoft twice. It didn't work out. It is what it is. I mean, he's executive, what is he? Because he was executive president at Blizzard. And listen, and maybe he thought that he wasn't going to get acquired. I mean, that Blizzard Activision wasn't going to get picked up by Microsoft, but it did. And maybe he's like, shit. I don't know. But regardless, his fiery spirit is probably what got him let go. Because he doesn't, and he probably said it the way he wanted to say it, and that's fine. Like, he's always been that way. That's one thing I do like about Mikey Barr. He says what he feels, right? So, like I said, I can't contradict myself and say I don't like him now because he went after Xbox. Xbox is just a plastic box. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit there and talk about a human that I've talked about in a positive light. I just think that the shit was very, very childish. It was very childish and very unprofessional. That's it. I think that when you do those type of things, you're feeding into the console war, but it's like, bro, aren't you above that? Aren't you above that? And I wouldn't be surprised if Sarah Bond didn't do the clapback by talking about Game Pass, because even like for instance, when I brought up about Shannon Loftus, somebody I've had quite a few conversations with, especially about politics, right? Because we're aligned on the same type of politics. I disagree with her thoughts about Game Pass. Like, obviously, the old industry has the former people that were in this industry have a problem with Game Pass because they look at it as that it's not generating enough money. That's their business sense. Or there's certain things that where, maybe creative freedom is involved in there, and Xbox is not going to spend enough money to do that. I can see that, right? But this is the thing. They're all ex-employees. They're not a part of what Xbox is doing. And maybe right now, if they were a part of what's going on in the industry, they might would have a different approach. They might would understand what situation is going on in Xbox. I mean, we just talked about EA being bought for $55 billion, cold, straight cash, homie. Come on. So it's cold blooded, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what's up, Husky. He's saying just a little clarification. It was in reply to somebody else's comment. Not saying it was right, but just giving some clarification. Okay, that's cool. That's fine. Still, it was childish. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, come on, man, be above that. You making six figures. That person probably over there making $10 an hour. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Come on. To be better. I get it. There's people get under your skin. People get under your skin, and people, and sometimes you let your emotions go. And I know that Mike, he's like that. He's fiery. But damn, man, come on. It still don't make them look good. It does still don't make them look good. There can be like somebody on the internet. Oh, you the Mike, yeah. But what the hell? Like Xbox ain't going nowhere. Xbox is doing better than it's ever done in a sense of making money. This is what this game is about, right? For these companies, they're producing more games than I've ever seen them produce. Like, I mean, even at the height of their powers with the 360, there was game, but there's games. Xbox is not doing bad at all in that department. Console sales, yeah, but look at what's happening with the consoles themselves. They're pricing people out. Ain't nobody going to be. The console sales across the board are going to be down. You think that there's going to be 97 million consoles being sold, 120 million consoles being sold if PlayStation 5, if the PlayStation 6 is $800 or more? No, it's not. Why do you think that they don't talk about how many sales that the PlayStation Pro did on the PlayStation 4 Pro or neither the PlayStation 5 Pro? You don't see those sales numbers. You see all this shit combined with the handhelds and everything else, and it's like, oh, we're at 90 million. Come on, man. Stop it. They're pricing people out. Now, crazy people like me and you will buy these consoles because we love gaming. We're going to invest and put a lot of time. We're going to damn near break these consoles because we're going to game on them like that. The average console gamer that just buys it for, like you said, like Rain said earlier, for the casual game of Call of Duty and Madden 2K and maybe a few exclusives here and there, they're not going to spend that type of money. They're not. They're going to wait for a sale, and if not, they're not going to buy it. That's what's happening to Xbox. That's why what was it? Costco. Costco said, "Hey man, ain't nobody buying your shit. You keep raising the price." And Xbox is saying, "Cool, we're moving on anyway." Listen, man, the game has changed. But again, but you know what I'm saying? Thanks for the clarification, Husky. But come on, man. You make six figures. You're a millionaire. Don't lower yourself to a dollaraire. Don't lower yourself to a person that is insignificant to you on that level. You're a professional in this industry. That's a person that is passionate and pays part of your salary because they buy into what you produce or what you sit there and tell people that makes those games how to make this game, what to do, all that, right? Like, come on, man. So again, I just look at that as what up, Big Bad Mo? So yeah, I thank you for the clarification again, but it wasn't a good look, man. So it was like I just said, unnecessary. And like I said, I'm never talking bad about this man. Because like I said, I like Mike. I just think that, come on, stop it. And like I said, his passion is probably one of the reasons why he's not in Microsoft anymore. I mean, not when he's not working for Microsoft. And maybe for him, that's probably best for him. But obviously you could tell it still bothers him. So to get let go twice. I don't know. but he's a DraftKings now. He's doing his thing. So, wish him luck. I just think that that's crazy and wild. And my whole thing about about Xbox and why I made the header what I did with this is Xbox Last Stand. This is where I'm going with this, right? How many times have we been seeing or listening or hearing that this is Xbox's last stand? This is it. They're on their way out. Xbox is dead. Xbox is cooked. Xbox, it's over for Xbox. They're about to fold. Microsoft is about to cut them off. And then you get information like you did today. Game Pass is killing the gaming industry. Game Pass is what's killing Xbox. Actually, Game Pass can't generate enough money. You gotta have a million. You gotta have a what? 100 million subscribers, and for them to generate money. And then Sarah Bond over there, just without even, what I'm saying, doing the shade. You know what I'm saying? Doing love when sisters do that. Throwing some shade. Game Pass has generated $5 billion in profits. So again, like, we have heard Xbox is cooked ever since the day that Xbox is even. I mean, I didn't even have an Xbox. I didn't even care about wanting to have an Xbox at that time when the OG Xbox came out, and I was hearing Xbox was done then. Oh, that ain't gonna last. The Xbox is over with. Xbox is one of the most, if not the most scrutinized console maker I've ever seen in my life. Even when the Atari Jaguar came out, and that was a awful console, it did not get as much scrutiny as what Xbox does. Xbox is constantly getting scrutiny from the gaming media, from PlayStation fans, from its own from some Xbox fans, from PC fans, from it. I've never seen anything like this in my life when it comes. I mean, even when Nintendo does the most foul, diabolical stuff, Xbox still gets blamed for it for some reason. It's always there. It's always in the comments. You never fail. Something's going on when there's all these people branding on something. Somebody brings up something about Xbox. Xbox, that's why Xbox dead or something crazy. I'm like, what? We're talking about Nintendo. Nintendo doing something diabolical, and you're still talking about Xbox. What are we doing here? What's happening? You're right. You're right, Husky. You're right, Hokoge. The Netflix. It's like Netflix. Netflix is supposed to be done. Listen, hold on. Let me tell you something about Netflix. So now I'm really getting back deep in. Well, I've always kind of lingered to want to know more about stocks and bonds and stuff like that because my couple of my homeboys, they're really, really deep into it, and they've been telling me to invest. So I've been getting into it quite a bit. Well, let me tell you something. Netflix share, just one share, it's over $1,000, bro. Like, what is it? Like 13, 14, like $1,200 to $1,400 a share. More than Microsoft, more than Nvidia, more than than most companies. And they keep talking about. I mean, in fact, let me try to look. Let me go look. Let me look so I could be completely 100% accurate. So, like I said, it's nuts. It's nuts. Oh my goodness. See, I'm wasting time. Anyway. Oh, where are you at? Where are you at? Okay, there you go. Hold on. So, last time I looked and I checked. Okay, come on. What are you doing? It was 1,200 some bucks. 1,200 some bucks. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna type in Netflix. All right, so I'm gonna hit buy like an idiot. Up. Hold on. $1,195.53 per share. $1,195 and it's down. And Netflix is down right now. So hey, that's for one share, bro. Come on, man. The whole thing of where people keep talking about this stuff, where Xbox is done, Netflix is done, streaming services is done. When you see that streaming services are, there's more people that are on streaming services than they are regular television. You can't go into a house these days without somebody having some kind of streaming service on or using it. In some cases, and Netflix is the number one out of all those services. So how is it done? It's cooked. So the same thing is with Xbox. Xbox is generating more money than it ever has. Game Pass is now thriving. And yet Xbox is dead, or this is Xbox's last stand. Now, if Microsoft came out and said that we're not going to make another console, right? After now seeing the disaster, what's going on with the higher prices of the Series X and S, then we could be looking at it and saying, okay, now there's definitely troubled waters. That's not what's happening. They're still 100% keep telling you that there's a new console coming. And if they announce it at the VGAs or at the because it's either coming next year or it's coming in 2027, you know, Hey, Rain said lights and gas bills are streaming services, bro. Hey, they can cut that shit off with not the gas now. Gas, they still got to come out there and they got to cut your shit off. But electric bills, no, they can just flip a switch on home base. Shut you down like the ATF, Jack. So you might be considered streaming. I remember they had to come over and then they would drop that bill. They would drop that thing on your door. They don't do that no more. They just cut it off. So Husky said, I think those price increase are coming, Sadia. No. They know. This is one of those things where it's like, okay, so I'm not going to take credit for that. I did mention this, but I also listened I heard this after I said this. From Brad Sams, where Xbox is ready to move on. And I said that before I even seen Brad Sams' video, but it's clear as day. This is what Xbox do. This is what Microsoft does. Once they're ready to move on from something, they're not going to sit there and linger around like waste. And then the Xbox has still got to keep paying for this Activision money, so they damn sure ain't going to sit here and keep playing around. They got to keep it pushing. They got to keep it pushing. Heyman Hood ain't playing with them. Listen. Where's my money? Where is my quarterly money? She might give him a quarter. She might give him a month. I have no idea. But she's like, where's my damn money? So, and Xbox like, oh, we can't keep, no. We got to get this bread. You know, we don't want no trouble. So they doing what they got to do. So, I mean, listen, I'm very happy with my Xbox Series X. I'm happy with the Xbox brand. I don't think that the Xbox, it's like I've said about the Xbox ways, the Xbox traditional way, they have never ever really been traditional. If you really come to think about it, they've always did something completely different than what we've known from what we've seen in the industry. Goes back to the OG Xbox, where they had a hard drive, they did all this, and people was complaining, oh, it's just nothing but a PC. Why get an Xbox? Remember that? For people that's old enough to remember when the OG Xbox came out and they were like, oh, it's got a hard drive, it's got this, that, and the third, it's just a PC. Why don't you just go ahead and be a PC? That was looked down upon. Then the 360 came out and was doing all types of crazy shit. Like, it was nuts. Like, I'm looking at my Xbox, I'm looking and seeing get an update on my Xbox, and I'm like, what is this? On my 360, I'm like, what is this? An update? Huh? And then I'm looking and I see all these apps, and this is when they started putting Netflix and what? Man, change the game. And people were like, well, PlayStation used to be innovators with the disc drive and all that. I'm not trying to say that they did the disc and all that. They were the top of the top in line when it came to innovation when the PlayStation 1 and 2 came out. After that, they when the PlayStation 3 was innovative in places for sure, but it wasn't the 360. 360 was something different. And I mean, Nintendo was innovative, but Nintendo is, like I said, they do diabolical stuff. So, well, they'll do some innovative, cool stuff, and then they, but yeah, it's always at a cost. So anyway, you see Sony about to put out controllers with removable batteries. No, I did not see that, Husky. Are you kidding me? Okay, so Sony's about to bring out controllers with removable back. Man, stop it. That's great. Oh my God, I gotta go find it. So I'm gonna post it. That's delicious. I love that. Again, they can't help themselves. They don't. They're like, you know what? Can't beat them. Join them. They've been doing that for a very long time. Very long time. Innovated the games. Yeah, no, Nintendo was innovative as well, but Nintendo has got like the controller, the controller. But then see again, like I said, what Nintendo does is make something that's cool, but it's always something tied in with it that doesn't make that's just kind of like, why would you do that? Why would you sell cardboard for $70? Like stuff like that. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's innovative, it's cool, but I mean, like something that only cost them what, like a few cents, $70. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing when I say diabolical. They do innovate, but it's just different. But anyway, the 360 was so insanely creative and innovative that it took me until almost the damn near end of the generation to figure out what all that damn console could do. Like I said, I was so far behind. I still had that PlayStation mentality. I wasn't understanding the whole online aspect of stuff, and then downloading your games and that's why the games that I've beaten, it does not register because I wasn't even like with Xbox Live. All that, I didn't know all that stuff. I mean, I sit there and was on silver for the longest time, and I had no idea about all that stuff until way later. So yeah, I didn't trust online gaming because I kept on buying PlayStation stuff, PlayStation 2 stuff, and that adapter, and then the Dreamcast, and then again, like I said, in the state that I'm at, stuff comes later. So the innovation with the internet was bad in my area where I was. I wasn't getting the stuff that maybe you would get in a big major city, right? So until later. So I was so late to the game. But then when I figured out, like, oh my God, the 360 is goddamn impressive. That's why I still play on the 360 from time to time. And matter of fact, I mean, look, I just got this today because I got a bad mic. Yes, Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, Matt Booty. We need this back. We need this franchise back. Let's do this. Let's do this. I'll help promote it. I'll help promote the hell out of this game. I will do it. Bring it back. Bring it back. Look at this, man. Look at this. All these songs on here, man. Look at this. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can put some of these modern songs on here, man. Bring back the man. You can listen. We can use these old mics on the new console, man. Bring it back. We need this franchise back. Okay, enough. Okay, all right. Like I said, I'm finna hit up Phil about that. I have not yet, but I'm gonna hit him up about it. So again, let me promote it again. Okay. So anyway, it's tiring. If Xbox did go away, it would be tragic times for the gaming industry, because you know what that means. You ain't going to see the same. You ain't going to see innovation like we've seen for the last 25 years. If Xbox did go away, you think that PlayStation is going to go overboard on trying to bring innovation? It's just going to give you the same of what it always gives you from here on out. Nintendo is going to do this and that and the third, but it's not going to be the same. Xbox always keeps doing something that changes the industry in a positive light. You know what I mean? And it benefits everybody. That's the thing that's what I said. So if you lose Xbox, for those that sit there and keeps begging for its demise, you're going to hurt gaming far more worse than what you think it is. I mean, and I would say the same thing about Nintendo and PlayStation. If the competition aspect, this is what's going to happen. With Xbox will still keep doing innovation stuff, but things will get way more monetized. Xbox will get too aggressive, and then they'll start doing dumb shit and start overcharging people. They'll start getting diabolical. Nintendo, if they're the only ones out there, Lord forbid, hell, is it safe to even buy the console and turn it on without them bricking it? So, the price increase for the games, they're like, man, look, you want physical? 150. What can you do about it? We're the only show in town. You know what I mean? Like, so stop begging for Xbox to go away. If it wasn't for Xbox, we wouldn't have some of the great innovations in gaming that we've seen, that we all are loved and accustomed to today. It's the same thing of looking at all these handhelds, which I don't really care that much about. But if it wasn't for Nintendo kicking in, and I know that there was handhelds beforehand, but Nintendo was the one that made it popular. If it wasn't for the Game Boy, we wouldn't have this stuff. We wouldn't have Xbox having a rogue ally. So again, we wouldn't have PlayStation jumping their hat back in the ring, making another handheld. So it's just crazy to me. Xbox will be fine. Xbox is going to do okay. Xbox is not going away no time soon. From just like at least give it another decade. I mean, anything could go away. Anything could happen. Can't say that Xbox is here forever. Hell, but I can't say anything is going to be forever. The way the gaming industry is. I mean, if that's the case, I mean, Sony could be bought by somebody. Xbox could be sold off. Who knows? I have no idea what could happen, right? When it comes to that aspect. But at least we know we got another decade of Xbox. And I'm very happy about that, and I'm looking forward to the new console. I will be playing, and you'll be watching my streams. You'll be seeing the stuff that I'm doing my fight night, all that stuff on my Xbox. That's it. That's going to be my console of choice from here on until the day that they decide that they don't want to have an Xbox. I'm all in, committed to the brand, and I know that there's millions upon millions of other people that's committed to the brand. My last point before I get out of here. When you sit here and people over here bitching and complaining about the sales numbers, about Xbox, put this in perspective. Nintendo was said to be dead in the water, if you remember. Nintendo, the Wii U sold only 13 to 18 million consoles for its whole lifetime, for that whole gen while it was in existence. And then look what they did, how they bounced back. Now, a lot of us assumed that the series consoles was going to bounce back and do very, very well on sales. But then we just looked at how the climate has come into the gaming space. So console sales are important, but it's always been about software. That's how Nintendo thrived, is because even though they didn't sell a lot of consoles, but there was people that bought the shit out of their games that did own a Wii U. And that's what made them go and say, okay, we're going to just scale it back, make a cheaper console and a hybrid and see where that goes. And voila. Didn't matter about graphics, resolution, all that. Just make some dope games and give the gamers what they want, and people will be there. And that's exactly what Xbox got to do. Give the games that the gamers want, have some innovation, and it'll be fine. If Xbox sells like I said, if Xbox sells around 50, 60 million consoles, and it might not catch that because they're at 30, 40 million now. They say if they can sell another 40 million, I mean, on top of all the money that they're going to be making off of Game Pass, plus of having games on other platforms, it ain't going to matter. Because you're still going to constantly have around that 30 to 50 million range. That's it. Will Xbox ever sell 90 million consoles again? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? Like that, the price, you don't, these new consoles are going to be expensive. So, no. So, could they sell 30 million? Yeah, they could sell 30 million. They're already over 30 million now. So, they can sell 30 million. At the scheme of things, will fanboys sit there and use that same talking point about, oh my God, the PlayStation sold 70 million consoles or have them has been shipped, and oh my goodness, look at that, Xbox is done, and then again you see Xbox innovating, doing it, and then PlayStation's following suit. Come on, man, stop that. You don't follow third place unless third place is doing something right. I never seen that before. If third place is doing so bad, you don't follow that path. Anyway, so thank you guys for checking out my thoughts. For the people who checks this out later on, please, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you like the stuff that I talk about, hey, don't be afraid to leave a comment. Let me know what you think. I was having a conversation with a couple of people in regards to us talking about Forza, and saying Forza Horizon is the standard, is the racing standard, it's the best racer out there. And there was people that brought up about classic Need for Speed and the Midnight, the racing game, Midnight, whatever, I can't think of the name of it now. But yeah, yes, those are classics. Those are classics. Absolute classics, but they're not making those games no more. They're not making those games no more. Okay, so what did Rachi say? No, Rachi, that's really. So when Xbox won Publisher of the Year on their second year, that they didn't have software for 3 years. I mean, so you telling me that you didn't play Psychonauts 2? You didn't play. They won Publisher of the Year on their second year. So this is what he said. He said Xbox Series came without software for 3 years, but in their second year they won Publisher of the Year. Okay, maybe try something. Then maybe try something out of your wheelhouse. Let's see. I got myself a new TV right now. Can't wait to try the Dolby Vision on my Xbox. Great. I want to get a new TV at some point, but yeah, no. That's crazy. The PlayStation 5 controller batteries are so bad they had to do something. Well, that part is true. That part is true. They do go out real quick, and especially over time, they only die out quicker. Big Bamo said, "It is my." Is that my team? That was my team that you was watching. Yeah. Oh, they're more stacked now. I haven't played 2K in about a week. Been a week. I've kind of jumped back on college football for the last couple of days. I'm really frustrated with Borderlands 4 because it is so bad. I was playing it fine, but then when I got that patch, that NVIDIA patch, it played like mud. And so I've never had to do that with any game except for Alan Wake 2, and put it in and dropped it down to 1440p, and to get the game to run decent. Never had to do that with any, but only one other game. And that was Alan Wake 2, but graphically you see what Alan Wake 2 looks like. So that's it. And before that I was playing it in 4K. I was getting 70 frames per second. I was fine with that. I'm like anything over 60. Well, I want my games to be my single player games or shooters or something like that. I want it to be, if I'm on my PC, I want them to be at least 70, 80 and higher. I'm fine with that. I'm really fine with that. And I always play my games in 4K. So I'm just like, but yeah, for that I had to change. And so I've been really pissed off about Borderlands 4 for it playing so bad. So yeah, it definitely is a problem. I've already put over 40 hours into Borderlands. I've been enjoying the hell out of it until that. So anyway, I got back on college football. and started me a new season. So, and I played some games online this past weekend. Had a crazy overtime game against somebody playing with Florida State, and then I was like, this dude came back. I had a 21-0 lead. They came back, and I was like, this is just a bad sign. So just go for two. Just go for two, and I hit him. I read his defense, and I made the right adjustment. Boom, caught him. He saw it. He saw it at the last second, and tried to adjust, but it was too late because it was. I was like, caught you, and I won the game 20. Well, yeah, no, it was yeah. Oh, no, it wasn't 20. I had him 21-0, and then he took the lead with a field goal, so it was 24-24 going into overtime, and then I won. Well, I tied it up. And it was 24, it was 25-24. I forget how the numbers came about, but there was a field goal somewhere in there. But anyway, he had the lead. I came back, I tied it up to go into overtime, and then I went for two. I said, I'm not going to play this dude. This dude figured something out. I got to finish him. So that was real fun. I went 7-1. I got the brakes beat off of me by Oregon. Dude playing Oregon. Number one was killing me. He was so fast. And so then he was talking trash, like, you don't need to stop playing the game. Bro, I'm 6-0 right now. What are you talking? I haven't lost a game all night until you. That's all right. And he got pissed off because he wanted me to quit because he was buzzing me. And I was like, nah, I'm going to do. So he beat me 39-22. And I started figuring out his pattern on what he was doing, but it was far too late. So, but yeah, I had fun. So I'm back on the college football. I'll get back on Madden here, jumping in. Of course, it's going to come here real soon. It's going to be Battlefield and then Call of Duty. I'm going to finish up my Call of Duty thing, and then hopefully there's a patch or whatever. But whatever. I'm about to get the hell out of here. Thank you guys so much. Let's see. Read a couple more comments and get out of here. Oh yeah, Upload Studio was great. That's unfortunate. That would be great if they could bring back Upload Studio. Upload Studio was amazing. Oh man, I mean that made a lot of content creators' career, like Kids Move especially. They were doing a thing. Midnight Club, thank you, Fahim. Midnight Club, one of the best racers ever made. Yeah, absolutely, but it hasn't been made in what, damn near 20 years. So yeah, come on. RIP to the people who spent the Corona alone. What? Okay. Your apple pie is in the oven. Oh my goodness. Anyway. All right, guys, have a good one. We are out. Peace.